Let's install the first ever Bevins Bricks Lego lighting kit for the Natural History Museum set 10326. And you can buy this on my website with the link below in the description of this video. Here's everything you're going to find when you open the box. We have 6 1x4 bar lights. We have 6 1x4 plates to install the bar lights on, a 1x4 and a 1x2 plate, and a 1x4 and a 1x2 tile. And that is for help in installing the modular building connectors. Followed by our USB plug, 4 6-inch cables, 2 LED bit lights, and then we have our street light, our AAA battery box for power, our 6-port connection board, and last but not least, a piece of 3M adhesive to hold the board into place. And let's start installing the kit with the light post. First, you're going to remove the official one from the set. Then you're going to remove the tree. You're going to remove the last little bit of black fence on the front of the building. And now we're going to start removing the tiles. We want to get the tiles up so we can put the wire underneath. With the tiles removed, now we're going to start installing the light pole. We lay the pole down on the sidewalk, and then we take the 2x2 modified plate and place it back on top. Leave a little cable sticking up, and then you can push the light pole down. Now we're going to tile in the rest of the sidewalk. Now let's take the window out of the front of the building, because that is how we're going to bring the wire into the building. So you're going to remove the brick on top, the molding, and then the window itself. Then we're going to take the cable, kind of wrap it up and behind the plant that's there, and let the wire rest on the bottom of what would be the windowsill. And once we get that laying there, now we're going to take the window and place it back in place. And that's going to keep your wire really hidden from view. With that installed, now we want to put everything for the window back together. And let's install the 2 porch lights on either side of the museum entrance. The first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing both of those, and we're going to be installing bit lights into those 2 light fixtures. Now we're going to take the bit light and we're going to make sure that the bit light is pointing in the down position. And we're going to put the clip that we removed off the top of the porch light and place it back on top of each one of these so we can install it back into the building. Let's remove the front entrance above the door. Now we're going to take our porch lights and we're going to push them back into the 1x1 bricks that we took them out of. And while doing this, we're going to take the wire from the light and bring it up and over and just lay it over top of the brick in between the window and the first stud next to the window. And then again, simply put the building back together by putting the museum entrance back on top. Now to the inside, let's remove the dinosaur display. Let's install our first modular building connector. And it's something good to point out. They come pre-connected because they are showing you the polarity they have to be hooked to the building together on. When you pull these apart, you'll notice that they are both attached to each other with the wires on the exact same side. So when you're installing these on the building, make sure the wire is sticking to the interior of the building. To install the first one on the first floor, we're going to remove the 1x8 tile. Then we're going to take our tile side of the modular building connector, put it to the left, and then put a 1x2 and 1x4 tile next to that. To tidy up our wiring, we're going to remove the front 1x8 tile, lay the streetlight wire underneath that, and place the tile back down. And then the same thing for the modular building connector, remove the rear 1x8 tile and place that over top of the wire as well. Take the 1x6 expansion board that comes with the set and plug everything into it. Once everything's plugged in, you're going to take the 3M strip that comes with the kit and also put that on the back of it to hold it into place. Let's take out our AAA battery box. And I almost forgot to mention, when you're hooking everything into that 6-port board, don't forget to bring your USB up and through the rear door and plug that into the board as well. But anyway, now that that's installed, we're going to plug the USB port into the AAA battery pack and turn it on for a quick test. And look at that, we have our lights on. With the first floor being complete, we're going to put the dinosaur back in. We're going to put the tree back onto the front of the building. And then last but not least, we are going to put the fence back up as well. With that floor completed, now let's push it out of the way and grab the second floor. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the 1x8 plate on the back rear side of the right-hand side of the building so we can install the top half of our modular building connector. And we're going to do that on the far left side of that 1x8 plate that we just removed. And then we're going to put the 1x2 and the 1x4 next to that to fill in that gap. Now let's get all your 1x4 plates and your 1x4 bar lights and remove the sticker that's on the back portion of that bar light so we can take it and attach it to each one of the 1x4 plates, because now we're going to be using 3 of these to install on the bottom side of the first floor. We're also going to be using 3 of our 6-inch extension cables as well to plug in to all those bar lights. And this is what we're simply going to do. We're going to take the first bar light, plug the 6-inch extension cable into one end of that, then plug the other end into another one, and then take another cable, plug it into the other end of that, until you have 3 that are held together with 2 expansion cables. Now, we're simply going to take our modular building connector and plug it into the one end that's open, and then attach all of our 1x4 bar lights to the bottom of the building. I put one on the middle 2x16 plate that's on the far right side. I put the next one at the separation point for the floors, as you can see right there along the plate. And then I put the last one on the other 2x16 plate that's on the bottom of the first floor. But before we can call this floor done, we have to install the next floor's modular building connector. And we're again using the tile side portion of it. We're going to plug that into our last 1x4 bar light. And then we're going to put the bar light back onto the bottom of the building, push the stairs up and out of the way, and then kind of just lay that modular building connector up in there, and then push the floor back down. Now we can take that floor and put it onto the first floor, and as you can see, everything lined up and lit up, and it's already looking better than ever. To show you a better view of how we're doing that modular building connector now, what I'm going to physically do is take the stair out of the way, and I want to hold that connector up against the wall. And then what I did there is I removed the 1x8 tile, placed the modular building tile on top of that, held the wire up against the wall, and then take the stairs, reinsert it into the 1x2 clip, and then just push it down, and that holds the wire up and out of the way. The awesome thing about this floor is all we have to do is rearrange the tiles that came with the building, and we can get everything filled back in. So we took the 1x3, moved it all the way down to the end, removed the other 1x3 tile altogether. Then we take the 1x8 up, scoot it down. We take the 1x4 modified plate and scoot it down all the way to where the modular building connector is. And then take the 1x8 that we removed to start with and put it back on. Now here's the awesome part. When you build your set, you have a couple extra 1x1 olive green plates. So we just take one of those extras and place it in to finish the row off. Now we can start with the last part, which is installing the modular building connector on the roof. So we're going to take off that corner 1x4 plate that's on the back left side. And we want to make sure that it's going to line up with the floor we just did. We're going to take the top half of that building connector, put that onto the roof, and then take the 2x4 we just took off and place it back onto the roof right next to the modular building connector that we just put in. Now here's where the other 3 1x4 bar lights come into play. Just like on the last floor, you take those 3 1x4 lights, you hook them together with the 6-inch cable, and then we're going to plug this into the modular building connector. Now here, just to show you once again, I take the first one, I put it on the roof on the far left. I place the middle one at the point of separation where you can see the plates line up together for the floor of the top of the roof. And then I take the last one and put it on the far right of the building. And that's really as far as we need to go. But there is a plug on that last one if you wanted to add more lights, or if you wanted to bring a light up and into the observatory. But this is where I personally thought it looked good enough and had enough light on it already. I'm personally not a big fan of how most of the lighting companies just really over-illuminate their buildings. I try to go for a very natural look, and I feel the way this is done, it's about as natural as you're going to get for a museum. And I'm personally extremely happy with it. You can add more lights if you wanted to, but I don't feel that it's really necessary. Anyway, if you're watching this video, I hope you buy my products in order to install them yourself, or I hope you go to my website and buy it off my website with the link below in the comments of this video. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next time on Bevins Bricks.